Okay, baby, so tell the audience why you will never again go into the men's locker room at 24-Hour Fitness. Tell us about your experience today.
I'll still go in there. I just will be a lot more cautious.
So what happened? Tell us about the horrors that you experienced today.
Well, first of all, there was no horrors in there at all. If anything, it was total opposite. I go and I really need to go in there just because I want to find out if the lockers, I could use them when I go work out, because I had a cell phone, a wallet, some keys, and I had to go into the pool, and I just don't want to leave that kind of stuff on the side, so I wanted to go scope to join out. And I've seen a lot of activity going in and out. So this is my second time going to this gym. The first time ever going into a men's locker room, aside from being in high school.
Right.
So I'm not familiar with what goes on there. I've always heard horror stories in my terms. That might be fun for other people, not for me.
Why is it not fun?
Well, because it's all a bunch of dudes. I'm not there to, make friends, anything like that. Not even have conversations.
You don't want to make a buddy in the men's locker room?
No. Not in the locker room.
So what happened in there?
Well, I walk in there and I don't see anyone around at the lockers, which is good. Because I think, alright, go, good. I also don't see any locks anywhere either. So I assume that next time I go, I can probably just carry a lock with me, lock all my stuff up, do what I did, do what I need to do, and then come back. Not have to worry about drop my phone in the water, anything like that. So I walk past one row, walk past the second row, walk past the third row. No one's in that row, so I just go ahead and take a seat. At this point, I must have won the pubic lottery, because out of my peripheral, and all guys, no matter what we do, will always look to make sure there's not a lion going to jump out of some cave going to attack us. Even from our caveman times, that's our instincts. But this was no lion. This was a dude with his Peter. And he wasn't even covered up.
With the lion's mane around it?
Around his Peter, just like Leslie Chan. Well.
You won the pubic lottery?
Yeah, well, it's not something great to win. And of course, he didn't have his towel around his waist. He had it over his shoulder, like, everybody look at me. I can walk around the lockers naked and let my Peter hang out. And you know what? His Peter wasn't anything to look at. No trophy at all. Couldn't have been.
That's unfortunate.
Couldn't have been.
Okay, so was he just strutting around like he owned the place, or was he kind of trying to hide himself from you a little bit? Or?
Neither. He just walked like he was totally comfortable. This is his house. Okay. He lived there.
Right.
And all I wanted to do was put on my socks and shoes to go get my kids to leave.
So when he rounded the bend, did you kind of freak out and put your stuff on real quick and haul ass, or
I had to make sure I was seeing what I was really seeing, because I thought for sure, no way, this dude's naked. Because I saw out of my peripheral a lot of color and a dark spot around the Peter area. And I thought, no, this isn't happening. And then I kind of shuffled a little bit and knew, because I don't want to make any direct contact with any kind of person. And I knew there wasn't a midget walking in front of him with a beard, so it had to have been his Peter or his pubes or something.
Oh my gosh.
So then at the second glance, I knew it was the worst thing that could ever happen, was an old man, naked, cruising around like he owned the place. And just so happened to be the same spot I was sitting was the same location of his locker. So guess what I had to do? I had to conversate with the guy. he just goes, he went on and just said, well.
Wait, what do you say to a man whose Peter's hanging out in front of you?
You don't say anything. You look as far away as you can, and he'll gracefully say, well, looks like it happens every time. So I didn't want to seem like I was anti-gay, but I'd also wanted to make sure that I didn't come off as anything close to being acceptable to a penis being close to me at all.
Okay.
So I proceeded to put
So
my
you
socks
tried to
on.
behave in a politically correct way.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
And this guy, I think, I think I was just trying to relate maybe to his past, because he, like I said before, was an old timer.
He's probably done it a million times.
I'm sure he's done it more than a lot. More than twice.
Yeah.
And I don't even do it twice. So
he frequents the nudity.
he seemed like he was a pro at this, and it wasn't a big deal that men go into men's locker rooms and take showers and walk around nude to their locker with their towel over their shoulder. And maybe I was the weird one and he's the normal one. But color me red. My Peter's not hanging out, and I'm not trying to have a conversation with anyone.
Right. Do you think in time you might get comfortable enough up there to walk around stark naked in front of a bunch of dudes?
No, not really.
Okay.
Because I'm not there to make friends, and that's not a way to start a conversation at all.
I agree. Like, it's all moving so fast between you and that guy. It's all moving
Wait a minute.
so fast.
You're starting to paint me in the wrong corner here.
I'm just saying, like, you just met the guy, and you already know
I
what
didn't
his
just met anyone.
business looks like.
I didn't meet anyone. Yeah, I guess kind of you're right.
You know?
But who wants to know anybody in the relation to their Peter?
Like, if you were to meet some guy at work for the first time, like a new employee, would he approach you naked in the office at first meeting?
Well, of course not, but this is a different setting. I'm in a gymnasium where these things could happen. And I always knew that this could possibly happen sometime in my life. I just dodged the bullet, so to speak.
Well, it happened. There's a first time for everything.
Well, it happened.
Well, yeah. I appreciate you sharing your story, and I also appreciate you saying peripheral or periphery correctly.
Here we go again.
No, I'm saying I appreciate it.
Like I cannot speak correctly.
No, you don't know how many people say periphery or peripheral incorrectly. A lot of people say peripheral, and that's not correct. So I appreciate you.
If there's a potential to send some balls on your peripheral, you're gonna remember something.
Right.
Ugh.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry you had to see that. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Next time I go in there, I'll be ready for it, and I'll get the locker right next to the door.
You're gonna have tunnel vision is what you're gonna do. You know what? Just as my closing thought, you should get those things that horses wear, where they have the things on either side of their eyes so they can only look straight ahead.
There's already too many other strange things going on there. I don't even want to get on that topic, but all I want to do is go with the flow, I guess, but maybe that's the wrong terminology for this place.
Indeed.
But I don't bend over and start stretching out in front of, like, other people, like, just to show that I can stretch out. And some of these people are real comfortable with each other.
I do that all the time. I stretch in front of people all the time.
Yeah, but some guys, they get real comfortable with each other, and they just stretch out in front of another one. Hey, what's going on there? No, not much. Just kind of stretching out here, this, that, and the other.
Right.
So it's like a certain society of people that feel comfortable about, 1, being close to each other, 2, being naked with each other, and 3, talking about strange things, like getting fit, and you shouldn't do this, that, and the other. I didn't hear any conversation about drinking beer. Nothing like that.
Did you feel like an idiot abroad a little bit in the locker room?
I always feel like that, especially with the fitness people, because I used to be into fitness, jogging, whatnot, skateboarding, and I still didn't fit in, so to speak, then. So I don't fit in now. I don't think I'll ever really fit in. Maybe it's just because I have a different outlook on things, but my closing thought is, everyone beware of the naked man in the gymnasium.
And scene.